here's Brody Brazil.
Just wanted to say thank you to all of you who've been calling in and leaving great voicemails at the brand new phone number 833-4Brody. There's really only one problem. I'll never possibly be able to use all of them on videos here on the YouTube channel. There's just so many to go through. I'm listening to them, but I'm not able to use all of them. I just hope you know that if you've called in, if you've left a message and I didn't use it, don't take it personal. Don't be discouraged. Keep trying. Eventually, I promise, I'll get to you.
Hey, Brody, this is Eric from Wisconsin, longtime listener since your YouTube came alive.
Thank you.
Just wondering if you could dive into what you think the lockout could potentially look like. You know, there's been a lot of conversation from Manfred recently, as well as even some stuff we've heard from the Players Association and the teams. So I'm just kind of wondering if you have some thoughts or ideas on what to expect as we close in on the end of this year and getting into next year.
Eric, this is a great topic. It's also an equally unfortunate topic that we have to discuss and bring up. And yeah, people should be prepared. I don't think it's a matter of if there's a lockout, like December 1st, 2026 is when the CBA ends. You can almost guarantee that some form of lockout will begin on that date. The real question is, how quickly can it get resolved? By the end of 26, maybe by the end of January 27, by February, because spring training is going to start. So how much of a delay is incurred on that 2027 Major League Baseball season? I also want to mention that every time I see or hear the word Wisconsin, all I can think about is T-Pain and that song from the 2000s. You could put you in a cabin somewhere in Wisconsin. Sorry, I don't mean anything rude by that. It's just, I got to say it. All right, let's talk about the baseball lockout. Unfortunately, something that I wish could be settled and resolved right here, right now. It's so terrible that this is like a train way down the tracks, and we're just kind of like tied to the tracks, and we can't do anything about this. And there's plenty of time. Like, there's all the rest of this baseball season. There's all of the 2026 baseball season. Forgot what year we're in. The point is, a year and a half or more, and you have the feeling it's still likely to get underway December 1st, 2026. Again, the real question is not if it'll start. I think it's going to start. When does it end? How much work can be done in advance of this date so that this window isn't very big, is not very long, and doesn't cost us baseball in 2027? I would say that it's not a certainty. Now, a lot of people have said done deal, lockout for sure. I'm probably believing in that. I'm not a betting person, but if I were, that's probably the way I would go, that to some degree, a lockout begins. Both sides seem greatly and equally prepared for this to happen. I don't want this to happen. I wish time in between would take care of some things. Can we minimize the damage, essentially? From now until December 1st, can we minimize the damage so that whatever it takes to get it done in that crunch time can actually get done? What are the issues? What are the topics? What is this going to look like? By the way, somebody else on a call asked me about minor league baseball. Is it impacted? Is it affected? What I'm led to believe is it varies situation by situation, but that minor league baseball should continue for all the players who are not on the 40-man rosters, like owners of minor league teams and leagues and stadiums and cities, small cities. They want their teams and seasons to run. They don't also want to be part of this. But I suppose it could potentially come down to a lockout of certain levels or complications that we're not even there yet. I don't really want to touch on that yet. It should not be a factor. I think that's the point, but it could be a factor. I wouldn't be shocked if minor league baseball was somehow affected by all of this too. But salary cap and competitive balance are the main issues. Players have never wanted a salary cap. You can easily understand why. It might limit the amount of money that they're able to make, or a situation that they want to be in, but also can't get the dollar amount to go with it. And competitive balance, I think, is a fan issue with Major League Baseball. Or even if you are a lesser spending team, how do you keep up with what the Dodgers are doing, or the Padres are doing, or the Mets have been doing, or the Yankees have always been doing? And it's one thing if you're trying to spend and you can't keep up. There are a list of teams that are not even trying. And I think for as much as we're all focused on the teams spending the highest amounts and deferring money to Shohei Ohtani and all of his friends, you should also be considering the teams that are purposefully not trying to spend money, not even trying to win baseball games. They just want their team to grow in valuation or the real estate they own to grow in value and just let time do its thing. And they're not actually trying to win here and now. They never put forth that effort. You already know who those teams are. I'm not going to mention them by name, but you obviously know they're out there. So competitive balance is that delta, that difference between the highest spending teams, the ones that try, and the ones that don't. It really is more about that middle ground of teams. How do they feel about all of this situation? I truly think they're going to be the ones to kind of help decide how this goes and what could possibly be agreed to. Again, owners are more likely to want this salary cap. They're also looking at their revenue, their income, and specifically from broadcast media deals. A lot of them are expiring right around the 2028 season, a little bit before and a little bit after the 2028 season. It's very uncertain right now how much money major league teams individually and baseball collectively are going to make from regional and national television rights deals. Without knowing this, right, it's hard to put together a new CBA. Like, where will we all be in 2029? So what can we even agree to right here, right now? That's a timing complication. The TV stuff is going to outlast like when the work stoppage would begin. It's going to go farther than that. So they need to try and figure out something that they don't even know the parameters of yet in terms of this lockout. Where are they going to be with revenue sharing? Where are they going to be with local, regional, and national television rights deals? There's a lot of things to iron out. Unfortunately, the biggest one we can already see. It's a salary cap or not, like a hard salary cap. That's the other thing. You could argue that baseball doesn't have a salary cap right now. It kind of does. It's got the luxury tax, the competitive balance tax on teams that spend over a certain threshold. They pay into a fund, which goes into the lesser spending teams. That's a soft cap. We're now talking about a hard, non-negotiable, like non-exceedable cap that major league teams would be governed by. We'll see if they get there. I think that's going to be the number one sticking point. Again, there's a lot of different layers of things, but salary cap and competitive balance, in my opinion, I'm not gonna take a side on salary cap, but I do think competitive balance is the part that needs to be altered and remedied. You have a lot of teams winning a lot of games and showing no signs of turning back. You've got a lot of other teams that are just kind of swimming in the tide pool, the float pool, like they're just kind of gliding along, sitting on their raft, just letting the current take them wherever it goes. They're not paddling, they're not rowing, they're not doing anything. They're just there in the tide pool. What is it? A lazy river? Is that what I'm trying to say? You got a lot of teams in the lazy river. And then you got a lot of teams whitewater rafting and really working at it and trying to get down that river. So the competitive balance to me, if it takes a salary cap to do it, then okay. I don't necessarily want that. I don't necessarily care about that. All I really care about is competitive balance. If we can get better on that, then that's the number one thing I think baseball would benefit from. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments section below. Also, thumbs up down there helps me, the video, the channel. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that button. I'd love to see you back here next time.